everyone. So today we're going to talk about integer addition. So we have two types of integers that we're going to add together. The first type is when the signs of the integers are going to be the same. If they're the same, all we need to do is add the two numbers and keep the sign. So let's look at example 1. We have negative 12 plus negative 7. We can see that both of their signs are negative. So all we have to do is add the two numbers together. 12 plus 7 is 19, and we're going to go ahead and keep that sign negative. So our answer is negative 19. On example 2, we have negative 5 plus a negative 6. Again, the two signs are the same, so we're just going to go ahead and add the numbers. 5 plus 6 is 11, and we're going to keep that negative sign to make the answer negative 11. This also is going to be working with fractions and decimals, so let's quickly look at example 3. We have 3.3 plus 4.5. These are understood positives. Whenever we don't see a sign in front of them, they're going to be understandably positive. So again, the signs are the same, so we're just going to add the numbers. 3.3 plus 4.5 is going to be 7.8, and we're going to keep the sign. We don't need to write a positive sign like that, but if we wanted to, I suppose we could. It's just not necessary. And our last example, yay, everybody's favorite, fractions. Same rules are going to apply. Our first step is to see if the signs are the same. They are. They're both negatives. So all we're going to do is add the two numbers and keep the signs. But because these are fractions, before we even add them, we have to get a common denominator. So the common denominator between 5 and 4 is 20. So we have to multiply the 5 by 4. And the 1 by 4. So we actually have negative 4/20. We multiply our 4 by 5 and the 3 by 5 to give us a negative 15/20. So now all we're going to go ahead and do is just add the two numbers. 4 plus 15 is 19 over 20 and keep our sign. So our answer is going to be negative 19 over 20. So integer addition is great when the signs are the same, but oftentimes we find that the signs are different. So what happens when the signs are different? First of all, if the signs are different, we subtract the numbers. Then we keep the sign with the larger absolute value. And the absolute value is just the distance a number is from 0 on the number line. So let's go ahead and look at our first example. We have a negative 4 plus 6. It's a negative and a positive. We see that they're different signs, so again, we're going to follow this first step. Subtract the two numbers. Well, 6 minus 4 is 2. Then we're going to keep the... So now, let's look at example 2. We have a positive 5 and a negative 7. Since they are different signs, we're going to subtract them. So 7 minus 5 is going to be 2. And then we're going to keep the sign of the larger one. The furthest one from 0 is going to be the negative 7. Therefore, this is going to be a negative 2. Okay, next we have decimals. So the same rules are going to apply even when we're working with decimals and fraction, as we're about to see. So the first thing we notice, we have a negative 6.4 and a positive 8.7. So they're different signs. We have to subtract. 8.7 minus 6.4 is 2.3. I'm going to go ahead and do the subtraction anyway, just because we haven't seen that in a long time. So we get 2.3. Then we're going to look and decide which one has the larger absolute value. Since 8.7 is further from 0 on the number line, we're going to make this a positive 2.3. Again, we don't need to write the positive sign. We can if we want to, but it's noted that it's already positive. It's assumed positive. All right, our last example, fractions. It's okay. So we're going to solve this the same way. We have a negative 2/3 and a positive 5/8. Different signs mean we have to subtract. So when we're looking at this, first thing we have to remember when we're subtracting fractions is we need to have common denominators. So our common denominator between 3 and 8 is going to be 24. So I first need to multiply to get my, I don't know why I wrote 12. I meant 24. So I first need to multiply so that I can get those common denominators. So 3 times 8 and 2 times 8 gives us a negative 16/24 plus 8 times 3 and 5 times 3 gives us a 15/24. So signs are different. We're going to subtract. Now that they are common denominators, I can see who I'm going to subtract from who. So 16 minus 15 is 1 over 24. And now we're going to think about the absolute value. Which one is further? Or I like to say which one is quote unquote larger. And when we look at this, we know it's going to be that 16. So this is going to be a negative 1 over 24. Now it's your turn. So why don't you try these 4 examples? Go ahead, pause the video, and then come back and check your answers. So here are the answers. On number 4, note that you can either have an improper fraction with the negative 19/18, or if you wanted to, you could convert that to a mixed number and get negative 1 and 1/18.